My self-esteem a lot. I remember at another club, my mother went to it one time to visit, and later on she actually spoke to my husband and said, I don't even recognize my daughter anymore. And that was a compliment to me because my whole life I've always been quiet and really quiet, so that was a compliment to me that my own mother didn't recognize me. Sounds funny, but it's a compliment. So now, yes, I've done over 10 competent communicators, and in my speech tonight, at the end of my speech, I'll hand out a petition for everybody to sign, and then I will submit that to Toastmasters International. And what my goal is to eventually have Toastmasters International bring back the Competent Communicator Manual for the new members to use and have pathways be like the advanced manuals. Because I feel that pathways is kind of confusing and they're not really, the new members are not really getting the introductory to Toastmasters, and I'll explain that throughout my PowerPoint. So now, the Competent Communicator Manual has 10 speeches. You've got the icebreaker, which is also in pathways. You've got, now the rest are not in pathways until you get to level 3, and you've got the electives. Then there's a few of them in there, and you could choose, and like I've suggested to Luann, to consider doing vocal variety. But all the other ones, I don't believe they're in there. So like speech number 2 is organize your speech. Speech 3 is get to the point and how to say it. Your body speaks, vocal variety, research your topic, get comfortable with visual aids, persuade with power, and inspire your audience. I feel that each and every one of these is very important because they all teach us in one way or another how we communicate and how to communicate much better. Now for all us long-term members, please pretend like you're a new Toastmaster and try not to get bored or thinking that I'm going on and on and on, because I don't want that, but this speech is more for the people who have never seen the Competent Communicator Manual. Now, pathways. In pathways, you have 11 paths, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 11 paths to choose from. What you do is you go on to pathways, you do a 10-question survey or however many questions they give you, and once you complete it, they send you 2 paths in which you choose one to start working. And now they added on engaging humor. And you choose any one of those and you start your path and you're on your way. And the first path, path 1, you've got the icebreaker, and then evaluation, feedback, and researching your presenting, if you remember, was, I believe, speech 7 in the Competent Communicator Manual. And I think that is the only one in level 1. Everyone's level 1 is exactly the same. So researching and presenting is the only speech that's the same in the Competent Communicator Manual, which I think is important because that teaches us how to research and how to plan what we research and organize it. So that's important. And then once you activate your first level, you then get all the other levels, let's say launch, and then you can look at the other levels and see what type of speech what you want to do within that speech. Now the icebreaker in the Competent Communicator Manual, in the manual itself, it shows you objectives on what you want to cover. And in pathways, it doesn't necessarily say objectives, so it's not, I don't know if it's really clear on what you should do. However, there is a video on the website that everybody can watch to explain to you how to do an icebreaker. There's even someone in the video giving an icebreaker to give you an example. So in the icebreaker, you begin speaking before an audience, discover speaking skills you already have and skills that need attention, and that is 4 to 6 minutes. And each speech after that are all 5 to 7 minutes, except for the last speech is, I believe, 8 to 10 minutes, and that teaches you, in this Competent Communicator Manual, that teaches you how to give a little bit longer of a speech in case you ever have to do that at work or somewhere else. So now I'm just going to speak about the Competent Communicator Manual for the new members who have never seen a manual. How many people here have never even seen the Competent Communicator Manual? So there's quite a few people. So David, you saw it, right? I know you didn't really work. So I want everybody, all the new old members, please pretend like you're a new member. So in Organize Your Speech, that teaches you, you're supposed to select an appropriate outline that allows listeners to easily follow and understand your speech. Make your message clear with supporting material directly contributing to that message. Use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to another. Create a strong opening and conclusion. And again, that's 5 to 7 minutes. And that teaches you how to organize a speech if you need help with that. And when I first joined, I was like all over the place. So I really needed help with that. And that's kind of why I keep doing the Competent Communicator Manual, to improve a little bit more. Because I really feel that that's the basics of becoming a better communicator. Better speaker, better listener, better everything. And in turn, that also helps you become a better leader. And then the speech 3 is get to the point, which is very important. Again, you select a topic and determine its general and specific purpose. Organize the speech in a manner that best achieves those purposes. Ensure the beginning, body, and conclusion forces the purposes. Project sincerity and conviction, and control any nervousness you may feel. And strive to not to use notes. And this speech is important because it teaches you how to get to the point of your message. Like I'm speaking about bringing back the competent communicator. Why do I want to bring it back? Because it'll teach us all how to be better communicators. Speech 4 is how to say it. That's very important as well. Select the right words and structure to communicate your ideas clearly, accurately, and vividly. Use rhetorical devices to emphasize ideas. The reason I do the Competent Communicator in this project is because I am just now starting to understand what a rhetorical device is. Occasionally I have to look at my husband and ask, what is a rhetorical device? And to let you know, I believe a rhetorical device is like a simile, a word that means another word. Is that right? A rhetorical device is use something that can describe something else, right, Alan?
No, it's sort of hard to explain.
See, I'm still learning. So I don't think that they need to continue with the Competent Communicator so that we all learn all these skills. Even Alan's not really sure what.
Well, I know it is sort of hard to explain.
So anyway, eliminate jargon and unnecessary words. How many people here have a problem with using unnecessary words or jargon in your speech? So that's important to get rid of as well. And use correct grammar, which I really need help with that. And then speech 5 is your body speaks, and that teaches you how to use your body, when to use your hands, when not to use your hands. You don't want to be distracting, like, hello. So use stance, movement, gestures, facial expressions, eye contact to express your message and achieve your speech's purpose. There's a time to look at each person. You want to look at each person for a few seconds and make sure they're looking at you. And learn how to do that without getting nervous. You want to use your hands a certain way. Put your hands to your side when you're not using them. There's a time to move around, and there's a time to stand still. And by doing this speech, it helps you with that. Make your body language smooth and natural. And again, that's sort of the same as the first one. It also teaches you how to use your facial expression. When I watch a speaker, I really watch their face, because your eyes say 1,000 words to me. Focus on methods of delivery, but do not overlook speech contents, 5 to 7 minutes. And then number 6 is what I told you about is vocal variety. And I feel this is important Because it teaches you when to raise your voice and when to soften your voice, but how much to soften it so that everybody in the audience can hear. Because if you soften it too much, the people in the back row may not hear it, like if you just barely whisper. So there's like certain pitches and rates that you can use to get everybody interested in your speech. And the way I describe it to new members is you should be like a radio wave where your voice should go like this, not straight line, flat line. You know, like your heart when you're dead. Use pauses to enhance your messages. So pauses are excellent, but not too many pauses. And I know that I tend to sometimes have too many pauses when I'm thinking of what I'm going to say next. And then I'm kind of still working on that, is to get rid of a lot of those pauses and put pauses in where they're necessary. And then use vocal variety smoothly and naturally. And I'm still working on all this too, and I think how many people here are still working on your vocal variety? Alan? So all of us. So I feel like this manual, this speech in the manual, is very important for everybody, including the long-term members. And speech 7 is research your topic, which is also on pathways. And I like this one because it's a breakaway from all the other ones, and it teaches you how to do research and where you can research. You can research on your own computer, you can go to the library. There are a plethora of ways you can research, a plethora of different areas where you can research. Collect information about your topic from numerous sources, carefully support your point, and opinion with specific facts, examples, and illustrations gathered through research, and 5 to 7 minutes. And then number 8 is get comfortable with visual aids, which I'm doing tonight. And as Luann stated, in visual aids you use 2 things, and I will be using 2 things. One is the PowerPoint, which is for all of you to see, and my other visual aid will be the petition that I'll hand out later for everybody to sign if you're in agreement. So in get comfortable with visual aids, just to select the visual aids that are appropriate for your message and the audience. And if you're not good with PowerPoint, you can do a board and just write it all on a board. If we had a chalkboard, you can do it on that. You can put it on an easel and do it that way. It's whatever way you feel comfortable. Me, I want to get better with PowerPoint, so I choose to do PowerPoint, because you never know when you're going to be asked to give a PowerPoint presentation. Use visual aids correctly with ease and confidence, and that's why I do it, because I want to learn to do it without feeling nervous. And number 9 is persuade with power, and I think that might be on pathways as well. Persuade listeners to adopt your viewpoint or ideas or take some action, and I'm still learning how to do that. You want to give a speech, and for that you really need vocal variety, because you really want to persuade your audience to take a cause, to do something that you believe in. And darn it, I believe in the Competent Communicator. I want everybody here to take action and sign my petition. You want to appeal to the audience's interest, and I feel this is appealing to your interest, because this will help all of us become better speakers. Use logic, emotion to support your position. I feel like I'm using logic and emotion to support my position, am I? I really believe in the Competent Communicator Manual. It's really helped me when I was verbally abused. I went back and I looked at the Competent Communicator Manual when I was writing a letter to Toastmasters International, and I realized that if we all pay attention to each project in this Competent Communicator Manual, we will all treat each other better. We will watch what we say, what we do, how we act, the expressions on our face when we listen or talk to someone, and we will act more with empathy. And then also, it also helps you avoid using notes. And then finally, the last speech is inspire your audience. And that speech teaches you how to give a little bit longer of a speech. It also shows you how to inspire your audience so that you can be a better speaker. And if you wanted to do the international contest, it teaches you how to prepare a motivational speech so you can go and compete, which is always a great thing to do if you want to go above and beyond the club to be even better, because then you're speaking before a different audience. It appeals to the audience's needs and emotions, using stories, anecdotes, quotes to add drama. And again, you avoid using notes. So all this within Toastmasters, I really believe that Toastmasters International should bring back the Competent Communicator Manual. And it was brought to my attention that a petition should be handed to Toastmasters International through a club, because it'll mean more to Toastmasters International. So with that, I hope each member here will sign my petition to bring back the Competent Communicator Manual for new members. And once you complete the 10 speeches, then you can move on to Pathways as if that was the advanced manual. And this is what my petition looks like, and I will distribute it now. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.